it hurt me growing up, feeling like, because I felt like,
Yeah.
well, what's wrong with being dark skinned? I didn't think there was
Right.
anything wrong with my skin. I thought there was something wrong with the world. And what hurt me most is like, man, I'm stuck in this world that believes that dark skinned people are not beautiful. And I'm obviously dark skinned because this is how God wanted me to look. But
Mm-hmm.
I felt so many walls being pushed up against me because I saw
Right.
in particular how the lighter skinned girls were treated, even
Right.
in, especially by whites, even in class projects, in
Mm-hmm.
sports, because I was in sports. I ran track. I played in the
Mm-hmm.
band, all kind of stuff. And there was a difference in treatment between the darker skins and the lighter skins. And it's even
Mm-hmm.
worse if you have a foreign name and they know you're African, because then that's a whole nother thing we'll have to talk about another time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
But
podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I had to
Mm-hmm.
I had to overcome
Mm-hmm.
those stereotypes and the
Right.
insults and the bullying and the mistreatment
Right.
because of being dark skinned. And that is still, that's not as bad as it was, but that's,
Mm-hmm.
colorism is still a thing.
But
But
it,
that
it
was
didn't make
an
you
Yeah.
want to go
experience.
San Sosa yourself.
Yeah.
Like you didn't lighten up your skin. You know what I mean? Like it just made you
No,
kind of
I
made you.
never considered, but that's
Mm-hmm.
situational for me, I guess, because I
Right.
didn't feel like, I felt like I had a nice complexion. I didn't feel like I was
Mm-hmm.
like tar, even though people called me stuff like tar baby and, you know, stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, it really hurt a lot of times, but
Yeah.
there was always still this part of me, and I guess I credit it to God for making me think there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with the world.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
so
Right.
I really had to press through that, even though there were times I felt sad. And I used to feel
Mm-hmm.
like, well, how come people, I feel like I'm pretty, but how come nobody else sees it? You
Right.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did you have, Gina? You're well, you know what? You're brown, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
we all have black people, we all classify each other by
Skin tone.
Light
whatever
skin,
color.
brown
Different
skin.
thing.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
experience did you have, Gina? What with colorism? What did you see anything or feel anything growing up, or did people put you in a light skin, dark skin category or whatever?
I mean, kind of like, I guess the biggest thing is like what Yaya said. I heard a lot of the negative comments towards my brown skin or darker skin friends
Mm-hmm.
that I just was like, why are y'all saying these things? You know what I mean? We all black. We should be supporting each other all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
But it was definitely separation. Like you could tell the guys would go after in school the lighter skinned girls, or, quote unquote good hair, which doesn't
Mm-hmm.
exist. That whole persona. And
Mm-hmm.
it is still relevant today,
Absolutely.
because if we fast forward to today, what is the girl, Danny Lay? She put out that song, he wants a red bone, or and all this, and people came down on her so hard because why would you even say something like that?
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. And like I said, it goes back to slavery. It trickled down the paper bag
The
test,
brown paper
passing
bag
for
test.
white.
Right.
Buying black little girls white dolls because that is the look. That's what you're supposed to aspire to look like. Like, it was out of control, and it's still out of control. And I'll say just the biggest experience for me personally was actually in Africa, to be honest. I went to Ghana in 1999.
Wow.
And we went to a village in Senkukwa, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And we got off the bus. It was me, other teenagers. We were there on, like a mission trip.
Okay.
And when I got off the bus, the children in the village were like, "Oh, white." Like, they were calling me white. And I was like shocked. Like, I was a teenager, I was just really taken aback. Like, why do they keep calling me white? Like, it just, I don't know. It kind of just blew my mind, because I'm thinking I'm here in the motherland, like, this is everything. And they're calling me white. So that always, like, stuck with me. I just couldn't, like, understand it, or,
Did
get past
did
like
they
why
act
they kept.
like did they treat you like you were more special? Like they acting like, oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Like
okay.
they were surrounding me and they were like, oh, like touching my skin, like, oh, white, white.
Mm,
And I'm like, you know, I
yeah,
I didn't know what to do.
right.
So that just kind of blew my mind. But I mean, I think that's just the biggest thing I've had, stuck in my head
That's
when it comes to
crazy.
colorism personally.
Wow.
Um,
Crazy.
but that was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
That,
wild.
crazy.
yeah,
Yo, B,
yeah.
what did you experience? Like, what do you think? Like, because from a male perspective, I'm gonna give my perspective as a man too, because I think as black men, we definitely experience colorism. I don't know if it hits us as
Mm-hmm.
deeply in the soul as way it hits women, because I've talked to
Mm-hmm.
many dark skinned women, many light
Yeah.
skinned women. I've seen and heard all the things y'all said. To act like I haven't would be lying. That'd be
Mm-hmm.
disingenuous. It's definitely
Yeah,
a factor. It's ugly, but it's a
It
fact.
happens.
yeah.
Um,
Nothing was said incorrectly. So yeah.
what did you
Mm-hmm.
notice, B? Like, what did you notice
Mm-hmm.
when we were growing up? Did you feel anything? Did you feel anything just personally, or not really?
Me personally, I don't know. Not really. Not really. I also was the dark skinned kid in the house because I have my brother's light skin.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
but I don't know if I felt. I can't. It's hard to say. I don't want to attribute what I felt to colorism. I think it
Right.
was more so some other stuff. But to y'all's point, yeah, I know personally as a kid, I was guilty of saying some stuff to some people that was, you know what I mean? Like you ain't
Mm-hmm.
really thinking as a kid that you really being colorist. But as you got older, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
realize what
Mm-hmm.
the hell, what you were saying, like, and how that may have affected people. So, yeah,
Right.
I've probably been one of the contributors to this problem at some point. But
Well, did you feel like you were team like did you feel like you were team dark skin, or were you kind of like in the middle, because you're not light, you're not dark. Were you like, did you feel like,
Mm-hmm.
because I kind of look at Gina like that. You're like
yeah,
kind of in the middle. So
I'm not so much. I'm not dark, but I was the dark one in the house, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. So I grew
got you.
up thinking I was darker than what
Mm-hmm.
I am. So, so when I got in the world and people were like, "Hey, you kind of light skinned," I'm like, "No, no, I'm not. Nobody has ever told me that." You know what I mean? Like in my house, I'm the
Right.
dark kid,
Mm-hmm.
but so it
Okay.
was a little
It's
different for
all
me because
perspective.
I'm like right. I'm on the peanut butter side of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
I think you're the brown paper
Yeah,
bag.
I'm probably the paper bag. Yes, so
You're the bag.
it's a little different for me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't experience it like some people experienced, but I definitely was probably one of the
Mm-hmm.
contributors to the problem. I'll say that. If we be honest about it.
Wait. Before I give my little piece. So, are you saying that you passed up some beautiful chocolate women to go for a red
That's not
bone?
what
Is
I'm saying.
that what you're
No, no,
saying?
no, 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 no. Because yeah, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as a youngster, I may have made some of those dark skin jokes that without realizing how hurtful they could be. You see what I'm
Got you.
saying?
Got you.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
I can think I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally thinking of incidents in my head right now. I just don't. I'm not going to throw it out there because But
Yeah.
I've made some of those
Yeah.
jokes to people that were stay fake. It being on my just me being funny and immature as a kid. That now is like, how the hell could
Hmm.
I? Why did I say that? You know what I'm saying?